shout out to Jordan Schultz for breaking that information.
Wait, they got the same agent?
Same agent.
David ain't playing.
That one Mulugeta.
Let's say him again?
we will break that down. Yeah. But Mulugeta did just get Derek Stingley, the highest paid cornerback in NFL history. 30 a year.
He's got the top 3 highest paid corners and the top 2 highest paid safeties. That dude is doing something right.
He's doing something right. He's living right. Hey, Shady, Joe Burrow, though. Now he got his number 1. He got his number 2. He has just about everything he asked for offensively. How much pressure is on Joe right now?
I think a lot of pressure. You know, sometimes in the media, right, you hear different things. Oh, the quarterback's not happy. Oh, he doesn't like how the organization's doing things. Now, nothing's 100%, and we don't know everything, but there's always some truth to something. Mm-hmm. And he spoke like, hey, man, like, I've been the franchise quarterback here for some time now, and I've took you guys places that you haven't been real fast. That's the Super Bowl. For me to get back there, I need my dogs with me. I need Tee Higgins, and I damn sure need Jamar Chase.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we did. They took care of them wide receivers. They took care of the quarterback. For him, now it's his turn to deliver for them.
Yeah.
And that means you give me my wide receivers I need, my offensive players I need. Now I'm going to give you this championship. I'm going to give you this Super Bowl run. So when you talk about pressure, that's pressure. When you ask for something and they give it to you, now it's your time to deliver. A little bit of something was going, right? So it's like
they did give it to him.
When it's a partnership. I always tell people this. They want to blame the front office for everything. Or they want to blame the players for everything. No, it's a group effort.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to go out there and get that production on the field, but I need my weapons. I can't go to war if I don't got my weapons.
Yeah,
can't go to war if I don't got my bombs. I can't do it. Yeah. Now you got it, Joe. Joey, it's time to deliver, dog. Because we can't keep making up excuses for you.
That's facts. I think there is more pressure than Joe Burrow can handle. That's how much pressure. The most thankless professions you could suggest in America: firefighters, teachers, and the Bengals defense. Because when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, we never talk about their defense. James, you should know this better than anybody. 30 seconds left. Derek Carr is driving against the Raiders. Bengals defense, they get an interception to seal that game. They win by 6 points. The next game, they're playing against the Tennessee Titans, number 1 seeded, if I'm not mistaken, Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry, he averaged 120 yards per game. He had 60 yards that game on 20 carries. Bengals defense holds, Bengals win. Next game, you play against the Kansas City Chiefs. What we now know about the Kansas City Chiefs is you do not beat them because of offense. You beat them as the Philadelphia Eagles. You beat them as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. You beat the Kansas City Chiefs because of defense. Bengals defense holds the Kansas City Chiefs to 3 points in the second half. Chiefs offense was averaging 13 points in the second half. I suggest the Bengals defense has always been there for Joe Burrow every step of the way. But now, Joe, you got your offensive dudes paid. Defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, he gone. Star defensive pass rusher, he's seeking a trade. So, Joe Burrow, how much pressure is on you? Enough to carry both the offense and the defense. But the year you went to the Super Bowl, what we do not mention enough is how the defense held it down against the Raiders. The defense held it down against the Titans. The defense held it down in the second half versus the Chiefs and helped you get to a Super Bowl. How much pressure is on Joe Burrow? All the pressure. All the pressure. Yeah. But I suggest there's even more pressure than he can handle, because whenever we talk about Joe, we don't mention the defense. Even in LSU, they have some defensive players now. There was a dude named Patrick Queen over there.
That's some really good ones.
Derek Stingley, I'm still trying to figure out the year. Was he the next year? Was he the year before? But just when you talk about the pedigree of LSU defense, Derek Stingley literally this morning was a cornerback for LSU, just became the highest paid cornerback in the NFL at $30 million a year. Never been done in history. He's an LSU alum. So what I'm suggesting is there have always been stout defensive players that have been in proximity to Joe Burrow. And so now if you do not get to retain them, Joe, all the pressure is on you. Chase, he might succumb to that.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that, because their defense last year was awful.
Awful.
Very awful.
And it looks like it's getting worse.
No doubt. If they don't sign Trey Hendrickson, it might be getting worse.
Exactly right.
But, like, how much pressure is on Joe Burrow now that they've signed those guys? I don't think there's any added pressure. I think there's always, when you're a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, there's always pressure. And quite honestly, you have to be good enough at times to be better than a poor defense. And when you have that happen and you sign these 2 guys, it's exactly what you wanted. You told the front office for the Bengals you wanted to sign 4 key guys this offseason. Jamar Chase, sign. Tee Higgins, sign. Mike Gesicki, sign. Now they just have to get Trey Hendrickson. After that, there's no more excuses. But let's not forget last year that Joe Burrow played one of his best seasons ever. Almost 5,000 passing yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Okay? That led you to a 9-8 record because that defense was so bad.
Correct.
That defense allowed 34 points a game in those 8 losses. You know how many points the Bengals scored in those losses? 28. They scored 28 points a game. When last year in the NFL, when you score 28 points a game, The record was 140-22. So this is not on Joe Burrow. This is not any more added pressure. The pressure's on the defense, bro. The pressure's on the defense because Joe Burrow has shown he can go and ball out. And I know what you like because you're the lone defender on this.
Chase.
The quarterback has shown he could play at a high level with the guys that he has.
Sure.
I don't know how much better he can play. At some point, this is not just about the star quarterback. This is about the whole team. And right now, half the team is not holding up their end of the bargain.
But here's my problem. All of the resources, hyperbole America, not literally all, the majority of the resources have gone to the offense. You're good at math. You know the numbers. Joe Burrow's making $60 million. Tee Higgins is making $115 million. Joe Burrow, $60 million on average. Tee Higgins, $28 on average. Jamar Chase, $40 on average. So you got the second highest paid Q, if I'm not mistaken. Jamar's the highest paid receiver. And then you got T, the second highest paid wideout. Then your high paid defensive end, you're telling him to seek a trade. So you just made your best offensive player the second highest paid, your second best offensive player the highest paid at this position, your third best highest offensive player the highest paid number 2 wide receiver, and your best defensive player, you saying, you know what, you can go shop, Chase.
As you know, though, Acho, it's not about what they're getting paid, it's about their cap hits. Next year and this year, okay, their cap hit is about $124 million, those 3 that just got paid, okay? Out of $300 million cap next year. That's 33%.
So 3 players, $120 million?
But that's only 33% of the cap. It's not like they're just cap constrained.
But that's 3 players, Chase.
I get you. And this is what the Cowboys are going to do this year as well.
That's like, but that's
I'm just saying it's not, you're acting like it's like 50% of the cap. It's still 33% of the cap. There's still a lot of cap flexibility to go out there and sign good players. That's why I think they are going to get Trey Hendrickson done.
Here's the dilemma, though.
Led the league in sacks.
So here's the dilemma, and then Jay, catch this oop real quick, is if there are 53 men on a roster, and 3 of them are taking 33% of the cap, that means, correct my mathematics at home, you got 66% of the cap for 50 other players. Because 3 just took 33. So now I got 50 more players. Hey, y'all figure out this other 66%. Y'all figure this y'all figure this ringy-dink 66% out. Mind you, the leader in sacks last year by a wide margin in Trey Hendrickson, he got to take some of that cap. I just think, James, now Joe, hey, big dog, I hope you got broad shoulders because this one on you.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right for next year because they'll restructure some dudes and free up some more cap space. But as for right now, we got to read in between the lines, fellas.
Okay. What's it say?
The organization is telling us that all the pressure's on Joe Burrow. That's what the organization's telling us. The organization is telling us, Joe Burrow, what do you want? What do you need? Here you go.
Yeah, they're giving them.
Offensively, we've given you everything you possibly could want. Are we the only ones, including the organization, that know the defense was what I call boo-boo to foo-foo last year? They were weak last year, the defense, right? The only bright spot was Trey. But they were not a good defense. What did they do to help the defense?
Fire the D coordinator.
Nothing. So you're letting us know as an organization, Joe, it is all on you. Here goes your playmakers. You had 43 tinkers last year, almost 5,000 yards. We need more. That's basically what they're saying because we're not trying to stop nobody because we ain't put nobody on the defense. The organization is saying, Joe Burrow, we believe you are like that. Jamar Chase, we believe you are like that. Tee Higgins, we believe you are like that. That's why you're the highest paid second receiver. That's why you're the highest paid receiver ever in the National Football League. And then we brought back your tight end. They're letting us know that all the pressure is on Joe Burrow. Is it fair? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. That's what it is.
Why ain't it fair?
Because you already, this season, you scored 28 points per game in losses. That means the defense ain't stopping nothing. So for me, it's not fair to go out there and think the defense going to stop some people with no players.
Before I just come back to what you just said, is there some games that Joe Burrow played phenomenal and at the end they didn't close it out?
That is true.
Is there some games that maybe he could have closed out, but he maybe threw a pick or had a fumble?
Chiefs-Ravens game. Those are the
and them guys are pretty darn good, huh?
Chiefs-Ravens.
So when you talk about pressure, wait. So how was it that we give Lamar some bread, right?
All the pressure.
Defense gets worse, right? They give him some. From the year before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, it's
okay.
legit defense.
Listen, what's wrong with this? The year they played the Chiefs in playoffs and the AFC Championship game, they were better on defense, correct?
Way better.
Okay.
Way better.
Than this year. Okay, so they move out. The Bills, right? This year from last year, I think.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, the team was way different. And you give Josh what 330?
Yeah.
And we all okay with that. And nobody ever say anything about no pressure. Do you know why? Because we are assumed, no matter what he got over there, they're going to be solid. And the money that he's getting, he deserves it.
That's a good point.
Why the hell we'll do the same thing for Joey? We got to do the same thing for Joey.
And he got more playmakers.
Patrick Mahomes. Hold up, Patrick Mahomes. Every other year, they can't keep none of their superstars.
Correct.
You think they didn't want to keep Ladarius Sneed? You think they want to keep him? They had to let him go. So when we start talking about when you get money at the elite level, when you're a top quarterback, like the Joe Burrows, like the Lamars, like the Pats, and the Josh Allens. Keep everything in perspective, dog. They are all in the same boat.
And I am keeping them in perspective. And you know, the last 7 years who's been to a Super Bowl, not named Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, the only one out of that group is Joe Burrow.
And there's no pressure to get back there?
I'm just saying, there always is, and that was my whole take. There's always pressure. There's more pressure on Josh Allen. There's more pressure on Lamar Jackson because they have not been there. They have not done it. Patrick Mahomes, 5 out of the last 7 years. Tom Brady and Joe Burrow are the only quarterbacks in the last 7 years to reach a Super Bowl.
But how long?
Josh Allen has not done it.
I get that.
Lamar Jackson has not done it. That's why I think there's way more pressure on those guys to get to it.
And he has a good point, right?
That's a good point.
But how long will we keep talking that?
Yeah, I mean,
because everybody else is getting better, and he's getting worse.
Yeah, and
it's to a point. You talking about the Super Bowl in 7 years? I'm looking at you like, bro, they ain't made the playoffs in the last 2 years.
Yeah, last 2.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so.
Look, and that's why I wanted to go back through Joe Burrow's history. Like 2020 rookie year, hurt. They didn't make the playoffs. 2021, lost the Super Bowl. 2022, AFC Championship game. 2023, hurt. Okay, 2024, this is the 1 year. Now, this is the 1 year that he's been completely healthy and they've missed the playoffs. That's a little bit like, all right, now you get a little more pressure to go back because this is the first fully healthy year he's had, even though he threw for 5,000 yards and 43 touchdowns. No doubt. That's the whole point of Joe Burrow's career. But when he's healthy, he's shown he can get there.
But the point that James is making, which I agree with, is like, I do not discount injury-plagued seasons.
Yeah.
And injury-plagued season, that's the season.
That's the season. Yes,
like,
sir.
Hurt or not, it wasn't our fault you was hurt. Like, the best ability, as we all know, is availability.
Josh don't get hurt.
It's what
Mahomes don't get hurt.
You can't.
Ain't no knock. He don't be getting hurt. Look, Sunday, I'll be there Sunday. Monday, I'll be there Monday night. We got Thursday night game? Cool, I'll be there. Josh play all his games.
So if Joe Burrow has been hurt, that is still on the resume that, Joe, you ain't made the playoffs your rookie year, you ain't made the playoffs your 4th year, you ain't make the playoffs your 5th year.
Come on now.
Now, that 2nd year and that 3rd year, shout out to you, you went crazy. Yeah. But 3 out of the 5 years,
they were
you
starting
the
Jake
playoffs.
Browning 2 years ago.
I'm talking about Joe Burrow, not the Bengals. I'm talking specifically about Joe.
You can't help getting hurt.
But Joe wasn't there, though.
But it doesn't matter, Chase.
You can't help. You just said you don't you can't help getting hurt.
I know you can't help it, but there is no pity. We're not talking about your son right now. There is no pity for getting hurt in football.
I'm not showing him pity, but you can't help getting hurt.
But it's part of the game.
Yeah.
If you get hurt, we have to treat you accordingly. No more, no less. I tore my quad at the NFL Combine. I tore my MCL my rookie year. I tore my groin my 3rd year in Philly. I broke my thumb my 4th year in Philly, and I was gone out the NFL after that broken thumb. If you get hurt, Acho, that's who you are. So, Burrow, we have to factor in the fact that he be getting hurt.
Yeah.
Now, not only do you be getting hurt, you said you wanted this.
Yeah.
You didn't go to management and say, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's shore up the defense a little bit. Hey, I'll make up for the loss to Tee Higgins.
Yeah.
Give me a 3rd-round receiver. Give me a 2nd-round receiver. I'll make up for him. Hey, Jermaine Burton, our 3rd-round pick from Alabama last year, give me him. I'll take care of him. I'll make sure he grows and matures.
Why do you think the Bengals did this? Why do you think the Bengals did this?
Because what Joe said in my mind.
Yeah.
They sign of respect. So even us talking about not being injured, like that's part of respect. We think Joe Burrow is so good and so phenomenal that, hey, man, we put pressure on you because you are that good. You can carry teams. You can throw for 5,000 yards, right? And him being hurt, that's part of it. Hey, look, man, you got to stay healthy.
Correct.
So when we speak on this, the way we talking about Joe, I think it's a sign of respect. Because I respect the hell out of Joe Burrow.
I think it's a sign of respect, but I also think it's the Bengals franchise have been here before. Remember Carson Palmer's situation where he said, I do not want to play for this franchise anymore because they will not spend money. They are one of the cheapest, organizations I have seen. Now, this is a complete departure from that. Now, will it pay dividends? Will they win? I don't know. But Carson Palmer pretty much forced his way out of there. They did not want Joe Burrow to say, you're not paying my guys. We're not doing everything we can to win. I don't want to have to ask for a trade because it's happened before. So, they've lived this before. So this is why I think
that's why all the pressure's on Joe.
Gotta be.
Because they did exactly what Joe Burrow wanted. Joe Burrow, those 3 games that you didn't make the plays to win the games that would have put you in the playoffs to go compete, you got to make them plays this year. We've seen Josh cover up a lot. We obviously seen Patty cover up a lot. All these elite quarterbacks, Lamar, we've seen them cover up a lot. Now it's your turn to cover up a lot and get your team to the playoffs to be able to compete in the playoffs.
That's
if you
all.
make three
That's
of those
it.
throws, or if you outthrow Jaden Daniels, the rookie,
Win the
your
game.
team is in the playoffs.
In the wings, James, in the event the Vikings were to pass on Aaron Rodgers and stick with that rookie quarterback, would they be making a mistake?
Making a mistake. I'm going to say no. You have a guy in J.J. McCarthy that you drafted 10th overall, right? That's a top 10 draft pick, a guy that you believed in, right? He got injured, right? You got the best out of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is gone. Sam Darnold made some solid money with the Seattle Seahawks. Now let's see what our rookie has. He's on a rookie deal. If your rookie is able to ball on a rookie deal, that is how you're able to build a championship football team. I love Aaron Rodgers. Y'all know that. But if you have J.J. McCarthy, a top 10 quarterback that you drafted who was playing well, I believe he would have beat Sam Darnold out if he did not get hurt. You have him in the building. Develop him. Get him with those receivers. Get him with Aaron Jones. Develop the young fella and go out there and compete for championship. Because if he's good, you have him on a rookie deal and you can put a bunch of players around him and go compete. If you bring in Aaron Rodgers, I believe it's going to slow down the development of him because the best development, I don't care what nobody says, is playing. Right? You could watch the greatest players play until you get out there, it's different. So let J.J. McCarthy go out there, let him go through his ups and downs, let him play. You drafted him 10th overall, and let him go out there and see what he can do. That's what I would do if I was the Minnesota Vikings.
I think it'd be a big mistake if they didn't sign Aaron Rodgers. I think it's a grand slam right now if you sign Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Yeah, because a couple reasons. One, the entire NFL, all these quarterback-needy teams, they're waiting on Rodgers to make a decision, okay? And they're waiting on Minnesota to make that decision because I do think Minnesota is clearly thinking about signing Rodgers. You cannot right now, at this point in J.J. McCarthy's career, because he's coming off injury, we don't know how he's going to respond to that. We don't know everything that's going on within the building. You have a future Hall of Fame quarterback for 1 year with a roster that I think is one of the best rosters in all of football right now. You cannot, at this point in J.J. McCarthy's career, entrust the offense to a rookie. You have Aaron Rodgers out there. Now, I know there's distractions. I know there's everything you could. But Minnesota Vikings, you sort of walked yourself back into a wall here. You didn't sign Sam Darnold, which we can think about what we want about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold took this team to 14 wins, a franchise record, or tied for franchise record. Okay? And then you let Daniel Jones go. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is the answer, but at least you know that maybe what you could have got. Now you have a rookie who's unproven, who's played one game in the NFL. I think without a doubt, you sign Aaron Rodgers. It makes a ton of sense for me. It comes down to a lot of things, though. How do you think, and this is Kevin O'Connell's decision at the end of the day, do you think that Aaron Rodgers and Kevin O'Connell are going to mesh well? How do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be off the field? How do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the field? Will he teach J.J. McCarthy?
Why are you laughing, James?
I don't know.
Why are you laughing,
But
James?
I do think at this point in the Minnesota Vikings franchise, it makes a lot of sense for them to sign Aaron Rodgers.
You know, we've been working together for a minute now.
Let's go, man.
You know what I'm
Nice.
saying?
Yeah,
You my dog, but I'm just trying to figure all this all out because
I was confused
he
a little bit, too.
don't never talk good about Aaron Rodgers. You always
Ever talk
you don't
good.
ever talk good about Aaron Rodgers. All the teams should never sign Aaron Rodgers because of off the field stuff. That's what, and then right now you just told the world
Grand slam.
it will be a grand slam. Like in baseball terms, that's 3 people on base.
Pow! 4 runs. Yeah, because they
And
have
we all come jogging through.
Yeah.
Like there ain't no.
But you know what?
And now it's a grand slam.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Just because I say things about Aaron Rodgers, maybe like off the field stuff, we know what he did on the field. Now, I do think this is a 1-year rental. I'm looking at this from a Minnesota Vikings franchise standpoint. Forget about Aaron Rodgers for a second. You're not going to go out there. You're not going to sign Russell Wilson. There's been no interest there. And quite honestly, because the Minnesota Vikings are coming out and saying that JJ is not the starter, means that they don't have faith in him. They would have already said that. They're going to go end up signing him. I think Aaron Rodgers makes a lot of sense.
I disagree, but you know, it's someone on that side of the table because
No,
'cause I've been working
don't put me in
working with
this
James. Like he talks bad about some players. Like now he loves Josh Allen for some reason. But it's cool. I love it. I love it. Let me answer the question though.
Would they be making a mistake?
No, I don't think so. I look at the Vikings as a really good team, right? You have a first-round quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, right? 10th pick overall. So obviously you thought he was pretty good to take him to 10th pick. And you have a head coach that's a quarterback whisperer.
Yeah.
You already know, okay, is he good? Is he not good? Is he overvalued? So for taking him to 10th round or 10th pick overall, that let me know that he believes something in it. And he's a winner. He's a champion. He left his last year with Michigan. He won the championship. That's one part. Woo, check. Two is if you have a guy like Sam Darnold, and he actually won 14 games in the NFL as a starting quarterback.
That for starting.
If I'm a head coach and I'm Kevin O'Connell, if I did that with Sam Darnold, you telling me I can't do that with J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah.
And then Jace mentioned Daniel Jones. That took me for, that was wild, right? But if you think that you could have did something with Daniel Jones, you don't think you could do something with J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah.
That's my thing. If you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, okay, cool, 1 year rental. I don't know if they're going to win 14 games, maybe 15 games. I don't know what they may win, but it might do something good. But my thing is, you have a rookie, you can always develop and get better and better and better.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And now with a rookie cheap contract, I can go out there and get some veteran defensive players or some linemen, whatever I need, I can do because I have a rookie contract quarterback. The last part, I think I've always been on the Andy Reid side. Let my quarterback watch and learn, develop, and then play.
Yeah.
All his quarterbacks he had, they all waited, from McNabb to even Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But now, as I watch these guys, when I wish Jaden and Washington, look at in Denver with Bo Nix, hold on, dog. Maybe things are changing a little bit. Yeah. Because I think if Kevin O'Connell had them type of quarterbacks, who knows how good they would have been? Because he's showing you he can do it with anybody. He did it with Sam Darnold, okay?
Right.
All I'm saying is you have J.J. McCarthy and a rookie contract, it can help the team out. And if you're known for developing bad quarterbacks, which you've done, we've seen it.
Multiple times.
Why not do it with your rookie quarterback?
I also think to that point, disregard Rodgers as a distraction, because typically I do agree with you, Chase, on Rodgers being a distraction. On the field, Rodgers hasn't shown you as of late he's a Super Bowl caliber Q. James, I agree with you, he's an above average Q, but Rodgers, his last year in Green Bay, had a must-win game against the Detroit Lions. At the time, the lowly Detroit Lions didn't win that game. Next game, he goes to the Jets, he gets hurt. Again, we've already told y'all on this show, getting hurt is a part of the game. No surprise you get hurt at 39 going on 40. He gets hurt. The next year with the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers plays in an average season. By Aaron Rodgers standards, a way, way, way below average season, but by mere quarterback metrics, an average season. Nothing about Aaron Rodgers the last 12, 24, 36 months of football suggests that Aaron Rodgers is a elite Q. So if he ain't an elite Q, why not just go with this young bull Q who you can make into an above average Q?